properties of acid. Then we call it what? Physical property of acid. Look at physical property of acid from the word phenotype. Physical means what? Things that you can physically see with your two naked eyes are called physical properties of what? Of acid. Let us look at acid now. You can see it with our two naked eyes. We all know that what? Acid are colorless. Abi? Like what? Like water. But the first physical property of acid are what? Concentrated acid. Concentrated what? Acid are corrosive. So the comp acid are what? Are corrosive, are dangerous. Corrosive tell us what? Never add what? Water into what? To acid. Never add what? Assume this is a beaker. We have a beaker of what? Of acid. So this is a beaker, and inside this beaker we have acid inside. Assume this is what? Acid we have inside the what? Beaker. And then we now have what? Another, we have a bottle here, and this bottle contain water. The bottle we have here is contains what? Water. This is what? Water. And then we are now trying to what? To pour water inside the what? This. Please don't try it. Never add water to what? Acid. Never add what? Water to what? Acid. If you add water to acid, the acid is the strong acid is what? It's corrosive. It will what? It will explode. It may be burn your face and your body. So never try this. Add acid to water to acid. It is what is impossible. This is what? Impossible. Please don't try it. But we can add what? We can add acid to what? Assume this is a what? A water. No. Let me say this is a what? A water. A beaker of water. And we have what? Water what? Inside. This is water. Inside. Here is water. And we now have what? A bottle of acid. So this is what? Our acid. And then you want to pour acid inside the what? Water. This is what? Acid. So you can plus what? You can add acid into what? Into water. This reaction is what? Is possible. Please. So you can add what? Acid to what? To water. The comp acid are what? Are corrosive. If you want to prepare dilute acid, always add what? Acid into the what? Into the water. Don't add water to what? To the acid. The next thing is what? The acid turn what? Blue litmus paper what? Red. They turn blue litmus red acid, and dilute acid. You can what? You can taste it. They give us what? Salt taste. Like taste of what? Unripe fruit. Do you know the taste of unripe is sour? So the diluted acid are what give us salt. Don't ever try it to what to taste the conk acid though. That's to burn your what? Your mouth. So and the yes, these are the what? The common basic properties of what? Physical properties of what? Of acid. Yes, conk acid are corrosive, soluble with what super. The dilute acid are what? They have sour what? Salt taste. Let us move to the what? To the chemical properties of acid. So these are the what? The physical properties of acid. The next one is what? Let's look at the what? The chemical properties of acid. See, this thing is very easy. The physical properties, I gave you three here, and we also have what? The basic three properties of what? Of acid. What is the first one? If you are talking of chemical properties of acid, acid reacts with metal. They react with what? With some metal to liberate what? Hydrogen. React with what? Some metal to liberate hydrogen. Hydrogen react with what? With base to form salt and water. It reacts with triosocarbonate salt to liberate what? Hydrogen gas. When acid reacts with metal, it will give us what? Hydrogen what? Hydrogen gas. When acid reacts with base, it will give us what? Salt. When acid reacts with what? Carbonate salt, it will give us what? CO2. In the chemical reaction of what? Of acid, whenever acid, be it acidic or basic acid, react with what? Metals, some metals like zinc lead, huh? The acid will what? Will liberate what? Hydrogen gas. So when acid reacts with what? With base, what is the product? It will form salt. When acid reacts with what? With carbonate salt, it will give us what? CO2. Is one of the what? Of preparation of what? Of carbon dioxide. Let us look at the reaction. The first one, when acid reacts with what? Active metal. Abi, react with active metal like zinc, react with what? H what? HCl. This zinc is metal, react with what? HCl. The product here is what? Zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. So you put two here to balance it. Balance. Yes. And then you have two solid here. I need to what? To put two here too. So zinc chloride and hydrogen gas is what? Is formed. This is solid. This one is what? Gas. So whenever any acid reacts with what? With active metal, there will be the what? Formation of what? Of hydrogen gas. Let's check another one too. If we have lead, solid react with what? H2SO4. The product formed here, it will be what? Lead sulfate plus liberation of hydrogen gas. So this is the reaction of what? When hydrogen acid reacts with what? With active metals, to give you what? Some metals to give you what? This. But the second one, I said what? This is the first one. The action of acid with what? With metal. So let me rub the board for the second one, the remaining one. So the first one is what? It's reaction with what? With metal. So when acid reacts with what? With other metals, react with some metals like lead, zinc, it will liberate what? Hydrogen atom. This is also called what? The laboratory preparation of what? Of hydrogen. And us acid H2SO4, this can undergo what? This reaction, except what? Yes, H what? HNO3 cannot react with what? With metal. Why? Because it's a what? Is a strong oxidizing what? Agent. Oh, okay. Reaction with uh, base. Two, reaction of acid with what? With base. So when acid reacts with what? With base. Let us look at what will happen. It will give us what? We have acid HCl react with what? Sodium hydroxide base to give us what? Sodium chloride plus H2O. And this reaction, we call it what? Neutralization what? Reaction. When they add together, this is acid. Here we react with what? To save the time, any acid, when they react with what? With base, the product what is salt and what? And water. And a reaction with CO3 2 minus salt. Please don't forget this reaction between acid and base, we can also call it what? Neutralization reaction. What? Neutralization reaction. Because why are we call this neutralization reaction? The reaction will what? Will nullify neutralization action from the word neutral. Let me put it that way. So when acid reacts, it will give us what? Neutralization what? Reaction. And the next thing is what? When it reacts with what? Sodium carbonate what? Salt. What are the salts? I'm talking of what? Salt of what? Like potassium carbonate, like sodium carbonate, like zinc carbonate, any carbonate salt. When they react with what? With acid, they will liberate what? CO2 and water. This is also known as what? The laboratory preparation of what? Of CO2. Let's check the reaction. We have acid HCl react with what? Sodium carbonate. It will give us what? Sodium chloride plus H2O plus CO2. To balance it up, put 2 here. Sodium we put 2 here. Hydrogen is balanced. Oxygen is what? We have 3 here. 2 here. 3 is balanced. Carbon is balanced. So this is what? Whenever any acid reacts with what? Any trihydrocarbonate salt, there will be the evolution of what? Of CO2 gas. So these two CO2 gas will be what? Will be liberated. And here we have sodium chloride, we have water. So that is what? The third chemical properties of what? Of acid. So let us look at what? The properties of uh, physical properties of base. Physical property of base. See, the physical properties of base, just the first one is what? They have bitter taste. The dilute base have bitter taste, where what? That of acid have what? Sour taste. Where did I put it that? Acid have what? Sour taste. And the base, they change what? If acid turn blue litmus super red, base what? Turn what? Red Litmus. Litmus paper what? Blue. And the next one is what? The caustic soda, which is what? Combination of what? Potassium hydroxide and what? And sodium hydroxide. They are concentrated. The core of what? These two base are also what? Corrosive. That is what? The physical properties of what? Of base. And the next thing is what? The chemical properties of base. If they are talking of chemical properties of base, are we? The base are that go to chemical properties. The first one is what? Reaction of base with acid. The second one is what? Reaction of base with ammonium salts. With ammonium what? Ammonium salts. To liberate or to produce ammonium what? Ammonium gas. So now let us look at the what? The reaction of base with acid, which is almost the same with what we have done before. Oh, yeah. So base with what? This is the properties of base. Reaction of base with acid. Take what? Uh, Calcium hydroxide. React with, let me take what? H2SO4. So it will give us what? Calcium sulfate plus what? H2 what? O. Yes, put 2 here for hydrogen. This is balance. Oxygen is what? Is balance. So this is what we call what? Base. This is an alkali. A base that is what? Dissolved in water. And this one is called what? Acid. So this is what? A salt. Can create confusion. This is also what? A what? A base. And here we have what? Water. It's the same thing with what we did here. This is what? Neutralization what? Reaction. The second one is what? I said base can react with what? With ammonium what? Salt. Abi? So what? Reaction with ammonium what? Salt. Check it. Reaction with what? Uh, Ammonium what? Salt. That will be what? Ammonium chloride. Let me put it what? Ammonium chloride. So when base react with what? Ammonium chloride, the product we have here, I said with what? There will be the what? The formation of ammonium gas. This is also known as what? Test for what? Alkali. Take this as an example. If you have reaction of calcium hydroxide is a base, react with what? NH4 ammonium, I mean, to give us what? Calcium chloride, NH3, water. This is what? Here we have a base. Here we have what? Ammonium what? Ammonium chloride. So, product here is the calcium chloride plus H2O plus NH3. This is what? Ammonium gas. This one is solid. This one is the what? Liquid state. So, this is action is also known as what? I said test for what? Test for what? Alkali. So those are the what? The two chemical reaction which the what? The base can what? Can under what? Undergo. So let us look at what, how are we going to prepare acid and base. So let's look at what the preparation of what, of acid and what, and base. So yeah, preparation of acid and base. How are we going to prepare acid? Preparation of what? Of acid. How are we going to prepare? How can we to prepare acid in laboratory? We can prepare acid in laboratory by two methods. The first one is what? By dissolving acid anhydride in water. Acid what? Anhydride in what? In water. Number two, by direct combination of constituent what? Elements. Or by what? Direct combination of constituent what? Elements. So those are the two methods that we can use to prepare what? Acid in laboratory. I said the first one is what? By dissolving what? Acid anhydride in what? In water. By dissolving acid anhydride in what? In water. What is acid anhydride? Let me explain this acid anhydride. The term acid anhydride is the oxide of non-metal. Acid anhydride are oxide of what? Of non-metal, such as what? CO2, SO2, NO2, oxide of non-metal. Now, when dissolved in water, when what? Dissolve in water, they will produce corresponding acid. So the acid anhydride, they are oxide of non-metal like CO2, SO2, NO. Whenever all these acid dissolve in water, they will give us what? Corresponding acid. That is the acid what? Anhydride. So let us look at the what? The example of that reaction. If you have a acid anhydride of CO2, dissolve it in water, it will give us what? A2CO3. This CO2 is acid what? Anhydride. When dissolved in water, give us this. Try this too. If you have what? SO2, dissolve it in water, it will give us what? A2SO3. If you have SO3, dissolve it in water, it will give us what? A2SO4. If you have NO3, NO2, dissolve it in water, it will give us what? HNO2 plus HNO3. We need to put 2 here, put 2 here, 2, 2. Check it. How many hydrogen? No. Yes. How many hydrogen? 2. How many oxygen? 4 plus this 5. 3 here, 2, 5. So if we dissolve NO2 in water, it will give us two types of acid, nitric acid and nitric acid. So note, this NO2, this NO2, this one, we can also call it what? Mixed acid anhydride. That is because it produces two types of what? Acid, which is nitrite and nitrate acid. So this is the what? The first preparation of what? Of acid. The second one is what? Is by direct what? Combination of constituent what? Elements. Let me write it here. By what? Direct combination of constituent what? Elements. If we take what? Hydrogen gas reacts with chlorine in the presence of activated charcoal. Act what? Activated what? Charcoal. It will give us what? HCl what? HCl gas. So this HCl gas, we will now try to what? To dissolve it in what? In water. So by dissolving HCl gas in water, like this, we will dissolve HCl gas in what? In water. It will now give us what? HCl what? Aqueous. This is what? Gas. HCl gas in what? In water. It will give us what? HCl a what? Aqueous. And this is be the what? The sketch. We have this. You know, I've said it earlier that never dissolve what? That I never add what? This is water to acid, but acid to what? To water. Assume inside this beaker, what we have inside here is water. We have water inside the what? Beaker. We said this is what? Water. And here we have inverted funnel. Inverted what? Funnel. So here now, we now pass what? HC what? Air gas to this. When HCl pass gas produce, it will now what? Dissolve here to make it what? HCl what? Aqueous. So this is what? The second preparation of what? Of acid. So now move to the what? To the next aspect of acid-base what? Concepts.